Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Yeah, listen to what Eric Swalwell said. This is.
I also like to step back when I see some of the heat President Biden is taking and think, what would the alternative be? If Donald Trump was reelected or if Donald Trump was president at this time, can you imagine what the scenario would be in the Middle East? It would probably be the United States and Israel in a World War III-like scenario with Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas.
Yeah, I mean, the mind reels, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just imagine who's going to be like Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense in a second Trump administration.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be Kash Patel and Tony the Wonder Horse or somebody. I don't even want to guess.
Speaking of which, by the way, I just mentioned Nikki Haley earlier because I'm sorry. I get it that compared to a lot of the other lunatics, you said over the weekend Nikki Haley topped what we previously considered her worst idea. You said Nikki Haley's no bargain. First of all, she's a Republican in 2023, which makes her prima facie a fringe candidate. Second, at least judging by her campaign rhetoric, she's a bit too dedicated to the proposition that performative belligerence constitutes the foreign policy. And finally, she's a veritable font of terrible ideas. We were talking about her calling for an end to anonymity on the intertubes, as you call them. But I just think it is in relation to these other lunatics that she seems sane-ish. But I agree with you. I think she's still terrible.
You know how bad it is? She jumped on an idea first proposed by Vivek Ramaswamy, who is the geyser of bad ideas.
Yeah.
She's gonna term limit what she calls government bureaucrats. You can only serve 5 years in the same job. Well, I'm sure that food inspectors and the EPA and stuff would gladly turn over their entire personnel every 5 years to a bunch of rookies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's once again the Republicans demanding to run the government so they can show you that government doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been the game plan for a long time.
Yeah, no, exactly. By the way, we mentioned earlier John Carl's reporting that, Mike Pence was not going to go to, January 6th. Said, it hurt my friend's feelings, referring to Donald Trump, the guy that wanted him hung. But he,
What do you mean he wasn't? What do you mean he wasn't going to go? He wasn't going to go to the Senate or the House?
Yes, he was. That's why it appears Chuck Grassley thought he was going to be presiding. So much for this. Oh, Mike Pence at least is the one patriot in the Republican Party. No, he wasn't.
Once again, we have to thank Dan Quayle.
Yes.
Who apparently stuffed the guts back into it.
Yes. He did everything he could to not do his constitutional duty, apparently. And this new reporting is even worse, that he was just going to skip it. Just not go because it's too fraught and too whatever, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, then he would have been easier to find, and they could have dangled him from a lamppost or something.
Yeah. Well, you retweeted U.S. Senator Mike Lee defended his role in the January 6th conspiracy by claiming he was secretly investigating the plot rather than assisting it, and you said it did take away from his efforts to help OJ find the real killers. What was
it? Where that was? Besides the former president saying he was really being sarcastic when he said Obama instead of Biden, that's the strangest thing I heard all weekend. Yeah, is Mike Lee trying to crawfish his way out of being involved in the white shoe end of the insurrection.
Yeah,
I was really an undercover super spy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I still wonder, if all of these other people are going to see any kind of justice for January 6th.
I don't know. I mean, you mean the congressional people?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that we ever will.
Yeah.
We'll see any of them hauled before the bar.
Well, that's depressing.
We sure as hell won't if they take over both houses of Congress.
Yeah.
Next year,
which
is another reason to vote.
Yes, exactly. Because, I'll tell you why. Because of this lady. A supporter of Trump said this week that there was a limit to her devotion, but said she would need to see her idol do something incredibly extreme, such as a wanton act of child abuse. Iowa Trump supporter Ashley Long, you know her, I'm sure, She said she would abandon Trump if he did something super heinous. It would have to be a video of Trump punting a baby for him not to be my guy.
Yep.
Or shooting someone on Fifth Avenue.
Sure. Yes. Minnesota Trump supporter Chris Seedorf. You know him.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told a reporter he was willing to take a bullet for Trump and express confidence that Trump would do the same for him. He'd do it too for everyone else.
I wish him all the luck in his endeavors.
I mean, how do you say that about the most selfish, narcissistic human we have ever experienced in our body politic?
Because he has a incredible ability to insinuate himself into your worst impulses.
Yeah.
And make you feel noble for having them.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he would take a bullet for anyone else, you're like, what?
And
this
not
is the biggest coward.
He'd duck and let Eric take the bullet.
Yeah, and not to get all Godwin on you, but Hitler had that same ability.
Yeah.
All authoritarian leaders do.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
It's a game plan. Mm-hmm. Orban has the same.
He does
the same ability.
Yep.
Apparently, this clown down in Argentina has the same ability.
Yep. Oh God, that's going to be a nightmare.
Can I just say, we just played you Eric Swalwell talked about, because Kayleigh McEnany said Hamas would never have attacked if Trump were president. I mean, everyone from John Bolton, who was in all the rooms, to Joe Walsh has said he was a laughing fool. Nobody was afraid of us.
I mean, what? Hamas is, dedicated to homicidal/suicidal acts of war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to know what was going to happen to them if they pulled off this October 7th. They just didn't care.
Yeah.
They couldn't care less who the president of the United States is.
Yeah. So,
most of them probably don't even know.
Yeah. So and
the other ones can't believe we ever elected Trump. So.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, so we got talking yesterday, Charlie. I don't know if you saw it. There was a Muslim American who tweeted about, I've talked to all of my friends. None of them are going to vote for Biden because of Gaza. They don't care even if it helps Trump. And Mehdi Hassan said that's same my experience. All my, Muslim friends say that. And, Democrats need to understand the anger is very real. I mean, I don't mean to not understand the depth of emotion behind this on a lot of sides, Charlie, but are you kidding me? You're going to vote for the Muslim ban guy?
I believe both of those people, by the way.
Yeah.
That there is that kind of anger among Muslim Americans right now. I just don't think it's going to be there in November of next year.
Right.
I think this particular, well, we can hope anyway, that this particular spasm of contagious craziness that's reached these shores will pass by then.
This is because here's the story.
I mean, my God, these 3 kids in Vermont, that's a terrible
it's awful.
thing.
It's awful, as is the Palestinian boy.
Could they be doing anything more American than walking home to Thanksgiving dinner from a bowling alley?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Charlie, the violence against Jews and Jewish businesses. I mean, this is I get it again, the emotion, but I'm like, how do you think attacking Jews or Jewish businesses in America is going to free Palestine? It's not.
You want to see what can happen? Look at Dublin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, mobs, anti-immigrant mobs, egged on by incorrect social media posts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rampaged. Down O'Connell Street, which hasn't seen violence like that since the Easter Rising.
Yeah. But anyway,
by the way, the original attack was broken up by a motorcycle courier who beamed the guy with his helmet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And now there's a GoFundMe to buy the motorcycle courier a pint.
Good.
Well, isn't he an immigrant too?
And they have raised $350,000.
Yeah, and one of the kids might never walk again, and it just this level of hatred and insanity has just gotten. Well, it just brings me to this story because I just this tells me everything about who Joe Biden is and why I am so grateful he's president. He privately apologized to a group of prominent Muslim Americans after he appeared to dismiss the death toll provided by Gaza's Ministry of Health. His comments sparked fury from prominent Muslim Americans who met with the president the following day. First of all, Trump would never even have met with them, anyone that criticizes him. The numbers from the Ministry of Health have come under question given its part as of the Hamas government. Currently, the Ministry of Health says more than 14,000 have been killed in Gaza. And anyway, but Biden said, imagine this ever coming out of Trump's mouth. He said, I'm sorry, I'm disappointed in myself. I will do better. Can you imagine that kind of humility ever coming out of, because he gets what a heated situation this is on both sides, I mean.
And I made this point in a post this morning. This isn't our war, okay? We don't have to fight it by proxy over here.
Right. Yeah, thank you. That's what
everybody take a breath.
Yeah.
Be thankful that some sort of hostage exchange is still going on.
Yes.
And that that the IDF isn't making the rubble bounce in Gaza for the moment.
Yep.
And then start thinking about what you're going to do to get us out of this mess.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.